matters a lot. It certainly matters to us. Some companies may include this in their quality assurance. Some may not. But let's talk about performance testing. I've understood that from individuals who have gone and gone different routes with different software developers, that the whole performance testing step could be something that's kind of done on the back end,
right,
only after the client complains, hey,
right,
this thing it's slow, it's glitchy,
right,
and then it becomes a separate line item. How do we handle that whole performance testing piece?
Well, first of all, it's a great question to ask and to bring up, along with security. And all these things are things that we bring up when we're debating somebody. How about this? We're going to have to think, because they haven't thought about it. Well, we just build software and then it just works. No, it just works because you made it work. And, you have to understand those are the types of things. Now, my opinion on it is that I try to get people that we're working with to understand there's going to be bumps in the road, and this is going to be one of them. Okay, because you can hammer it down on day one. It depends on what your application is going to be. If you're distributing your app to 1 million people on day one, you're gonna have to do a whole bunch of work here. If it's a company that's going to launch day one and it's going to grow into it slowly, you have the ability to bring some clients on, just kind of like it's what I've done. I think it's worked really well, and to where you understand up front, you might have some user issues, or as you really start to ramp up and grow, you might have some user issues, but you can easily fix them at that point. And so that becomes also a question of, do you fix something that might be a problem down the road today, or do we try to get profitable today so that we have enough money to fix that thing down the road? I tend to be more conservative. So it's a both and. It's a very important thing, but only to a point. That's where you have to have an entrepreneurial brain that steps in, because if you ask a technology person, they're going to go, we have to do this. Yes, that's true. We have to. But, like our mentor talks about the janitor mindset and the CEO mindset. You have to have both, because the software developer is going to go have that janitor mindset. And a lot of times this has got to be cleaned up. This has got to be cleaned up, where the CEO goes, it does, but not just yet, because she has a broader view about what's happening overall. And so it's an important thing to look at, but you can't go crazy about it. Because the whole thing too that you mentioned earlier, he who's handy with a hammer thinks everything is a nail. Software people think everything is a software problem, but it's not.
Right.
Software, everyone is in the software business. The trash companies in this, everyone is. The post office, everyone's in the technology business. It's not like you don't have a smartphone. It's not like you don't have a computer. And so you kind of demystify it and you go, all right, well, it's, but don't use those skills just because if you're really good at that as a software person, you can really convince somebody to go off the edge on data security and cybersecurity. And it's important, but making it that way to where it even matters is important too. You can go hire 3 people to keep it secure and then go broke.
Right.
And so it's one of those things you really have to be very precise about growing into, unless you just got so much money you don't care.
Sure.
Yeah.
So